My name is Simon Korsak. I've travelled around the world playing my music and singing my songs, realising that we are all one family. This is the SOS Songs on Sunday podcast, where I shall be talking about some of the songs that I've written, where they come from, what they mean, singing them for you, and hopefully you enjoy it. Behind the camera we have Karim Ahmed, who was taking on the joyous task of filming all of this for us and putting it all together. So we sincerely hope you enjoy it.
Welcome to me. Welcome to me.
You are where you're meant to be. This is a pretty crazy story to this song. I'll give you a little of the backstory to this. What happened previous to writing this song was basically after living 16 years in the Canary Islands, 11 years in Tenerife and 5 years in Fuerteventura, I faced an existential crisis. See, the dog agrees with me. It was pretty much of a crisis, and which ended up making me go on a trip to Buenos Aires to see a friend, and just to have a little bit of air. And then I went to Switzerland directly from Buenos Aires, because I've been playing for the last few years, going to Switzerland 2 or 3 times a year to play. And so I went to Switzerland. Immediately I got to Switzerland, I lost my passport. And I was like, oh. I wasn't too worried, because I didn't really want to go straight back to Fuerteventura, where my crisis was most tender, most sore. So I decided to wait around in Switzerland, and for my new passport. Whilst I was waiting, the owner of my house in Fuerteventura sent me a message saying, I'd like you to leave, because I want to sell the house. And I was like, oh, the universe has spoken. It's time to leave the Canary Islands. Can always go back after 16 years, but yeah, I remember reading a phrase saying it's not the same to stay in one place as to leave and come back. So I decided to leave, and I came back here to Fuerteventura to empty my house, and I decided I was going to move to Switzerland for a while. So I'm waiting in the airport here in Fuerteventura, and as I do whilst I'm waiting in the airport, I play my guitar. And whenever I'm playing my guitar and just jamming, if I hear something I like, I record it. So I'm sitting there in the airport, waiting for my flight to Switzerland, to my new life, and suddenly this piece of guitar comes out. Went like this. And I thought, oh, that's lovely. So I recorded it, and as I do, I give them a name, the first name that comes to mind. And the name was Bye Bye Fuerte, which is kind of a cross between Bye Bye Fuerteventura and a strong goodbye. Fuerte means strong in Spanish, obviously. So there it was on my phone, and I moved to Switzerland, started playing eventually got to Zurich, and was playing in the street on the lake in Zurich. And then one day it started to rain, and I couldn't go out and play. And I looked at the weather report, and it said it would be raining for 10 days. So like, oh, what? And I got all kind of like in another crisis. What am I doing here? I should have stayed in Fuerteventura. I was living on the beach, I was playing music, I was surfing. Now I'm living in a city, it's cold, it's wet, and I can't even work. And of course, in these moments of crises, my higher self comes to me, sends me a song, and in this case it was this song. You are where you're meant to be, it said. Although originally I gave it the title Readjust the Scene. Change your perspective on things, you know. So I wrote it, but then for some reason I knew it wasn't finished. I knew it was lacking something, you know. I didn't know what, but I was playing it anyway because I liked it. And then a friend of mine asked me if I would like to go to Lebanon. She went every year to help out the refugees, and I said, if I can be of use, I would love to go to Lebanon. And that was a huge adventure. Working for an NGO, is it an NGO? Yeah, a non-governmental organisation. Teaching English, giving out clothes, bit of music here and there. But I was still a travelling musician, so I still had to make some money. So I would go out in the weekend to the streets of Beirut to sell my CDs. So I was busking on the street and going into bars and cafes and playing my own music and seeing if I could sell the Korsak acoustic CD, which I had printed in Switzerland. And I'm on my way to one cafe where I decide I'm going to eat. And this song comes into my head, like really heavy, really strong. And I'm like, okay, well, I shall play that song as soon as I get to this cafe. So I open the door and I look across on the wall in front of me, and there are some pictures and some phrases in English on the wall. And the first thing that my eyes come to rest on is a phrase saying, "We see what we want to see." And I'm like, wow, that's the phrase that's missing from my song. The one that's in my head, the one I'm going to play. And so the song was finished in Lebanon, in Beirut. And yeah, it's a song that reminds you of those moments when you're like, what am I doing here? You know, asking yourself if you've made the right decisions in life. What else is there left to say? What can change your mind and make you change your ways? Same old questions every day. That was happening to me a lot, you know. Have I done the right thing by leaving? Am I going to the right place? Same old questions every day. It's time to realign and redefine your faith. Another song which talks about faith. Then it goes, take your time to breathe. Allow your life to run free. You are where you're meant to be. We see what we want to see. So, and then it goes, and I love the second verse which came out. I have come to believe that there's no one out there but me. It's this idea that we're all one, that we're all part of this universe and that everyone is a reflection, that we create everything that happens to us on some level. It's hard to believe that when it's not so pleasant, but yeah, maybe that's just part of the game. Sense is sent to perceive, filtered screens where we receive reality. We only actually perceive, I think, what is it, 0.05% of reality? As far as I can remember, like we only see a certain amount of the light spectrum, we only hear a certain amount of the sound spectrum, and like 99% of the universe is invisible to us. That's pretty nuts, if you think about it. No? And then it says, don't get lost in the dream. Nothing is as it seems. This is just an illusion. It's a dream. You are where you're meant to be. We see what we want to see. So what else is there left to say? What can change your mind and make you seize this day? Let those fears float away. Do what your heart tells you and do it with grace. Readjust the scene. Change your perspective. Readjust the scene. You are where you're meant to be. We see what we want to see.
else is there left to say? Why can't change your mind and make it change your ways? Same old questions every day. It's time to realign, redefine your fate. Take your time to breathe. Allow your life to run free. You are where you're meant to be. We see what we want to see. I have come to believe that there's no one out there but me. Senses sent to perceive. Filtered screens where we receive reality. Yeah. Don't get lost in the dream. Nothing is as it seems. You are where you're meant to be. We see what we want to see. So what else is there left to say? Why can't change your mind and make you seize this day? Let those fears float away. Do what your heart tells you and do it with grace. Readjust the scene. Readjust the scene. You are where you're meant to be. We see what we want to see.